A few weeks ago, my group mates and I, Val, Ivy, Oria, and Mark, went online to search for different feeding programs around Metro Manila that we could volunteer at for a CITIGOV project. We sent out so many emails, applications, and made so many phone calls, but the only non-government organization to answer us was Project Pearls, so we decided why not. So early one Thursday morning, the entire group piled up into a car with a bunch of boxes of skyflakes and pandesal, and we set off to the helping land in Tondo, Manila, just a 30-minute drive away from Taft Avenue. Soon after that, we reached the gas station where we were supposed to meet the other volunteers of Project Pearls. After a couple of minutes of waiting, a small jeepney arrived, and the volunteers of Project Pearls helped us load up a jeep with boxes of pandesal and crackers, and off to the helping land we went. The Helping Land community in Tondo, Manila sits on an active dump site, wherein most of the families live closely together in crowded shanties, most of the time without access to running water, plumbing, and electricity. The families living in the Helping Land depend on the scavenging of garbage and the production of pagpag, which is leftover food from the trash that is cleaned, cooked, and resold to others within the community. Upon entering the Helping Land, my groupmates and I were shocked about what we were seeing. None of us have ever been to an active dump site. Sure, we'd hear about these things on the news, but then seeing it for ourselves was a far cry from seeing it through a television screen. Those were the harsh conditions that were completely foreign to us, were sadly a reality for our fellow Filipinos, and that idea was a tough pill to swallow. Though we were really culture shocked, all the fear and the anxiety of being in a different environment went away when we got out of the jeep and were greeted by all the kids. They were all smiling and were so happy just to come out and meet us. So we forgot about the smell and the discomfort and reminded ourselves that we came out here to help these kids, and it was the least we could do to make their situation a little bit better.
Ate Oria! There's one more. Kuya Mark.
We then entered a small cement hall where all the children gathered to eat their breakfast and have their group playtime. This is where we met Kuya Juan Villa, one of the founders of Project Pearls and the head of the Daily Soup Kitchen. My groupmates and I arrived just a little after breakfast was distributed, so Kuya Juan immediately put us to work, with Val and I in charge of dispensing vitamins to the kids, while Ivy, Mark, and Oria set up the rest of our donations for distribution. After dispensing the vitamins, Kuya Juan gathered all the kids for a short prayer before allowing them to fall in line for the skyflakes and the pandesal we brought over. The kids eventually settled down and the entire group worked like a conveyor belt, distributing food stage after stage. After all the kids have gotten their food and settled down once again, the kids from ages 9 to 10 were invited to stay for the toy library program, wherein 30 minutes every day they are allowed to play with the toys in the simple playground set that Project Pearls has collected and provided for them. As the kids from ages 9 to 10 started their toy library shift, the group split up once again into two, with Ivy, Oria, and Mark playing with the children, while Val and I decided to talk to Kuya Juan and learn more about the Project Pearls and the Daily Soup Kitchen. Project Pearl stands for Peace, Education, Admiration, Respect, Love, and Smiles, which are the most important advocacies of the organization. It started in 2010 with Juan, his sister Melissa, and a handful of volunteers in Ulingan, Tondo, Manila. And over the past 5 years, they have extended to helping more communities like the Helping Land and are supporting over 300 scholars in different year levels. They also feed over 300 children daily and do several educational activities to encourage learning and impart values formation in the lives of the children that they feed. Kuya Juan went on to explain that the Daily Soup Kitchen project was launched last July as a means of addressing malnutrition amongst children living in the Helping Land who survive while feeding pagpag daily, which becomes the main cause of sickness and death among children in the area. They provide the children with a healthy breakfast and a dosage of vitamins, since it's probably the only meal that they'll get during the day. Every month, they gather all the children and measure their height and their weight to monitor any improvements. Kuya Juan was proud to report that over the past few months, the children have shown significant improvements in both height and weight. He also explained that daily, apart from their small group of volunteers, there are around 2 to 3 students who make time and spend their mornings volunteering with them. Much like us, these students were able to contact Project Pearls through their website and through their active social media accounts. Though Project Pearls needs volunteers on a daily basis, Kuya Juan explains that they discourage the involvement of politicians and government officials in their programs, as they want to avoid being used for self-promotion and campaigning, which has sadly been the case before. He explains that ayaw naming mapolitika ang mga bata, and we did notice that the area was free from EPAL posters and campaign materials. Looking back on my experience with the Daily Soup Kitchen and Project Pearls, I'm both frustrated and optimistic about it all. Frustrated in the sense that just 30 minutes away from our school, in our own backyard, people are living in such poor and harsh conditions. 30 minutes away from school, there are children dying from eating food from the garbage. 30 minutes away from school, as we eat 3 meals a day, there are children who only have access to 1. I still feel a sense of optimism and hope because there are people out there like Kuya Juan and the volunteers of Project Pearls who are able to make avenues for participation with the help of the internet and social media, so that people and everyday citizens like you and me can be change makers in our society.